Welcome to episode 2 and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm in a little pocket rocket courtesy of Volkswagen. Now I'm in the Volkswagen Up GTI, 1 litre 3-cylinder turbo engine, 113 horsepower, and you're probably thinking, really? But I tell you, it goes well. I mean, it weighs what? Less than a ton, 997 kilograms to be exact. And every time I've driven this, I've been driving about 10 minutes now, I haven't stopped smiling. And fair dues, Volkswagen, you built a good car here. Now what's it like to drive? Now I brought it to North Wales for a nice little twisty narrow road, on a nice little B road, probably what the VW Up is designed for. And I must say, it's reacting very well to all my inputs I'm giving it. Now VW, they've used a standard suspension from the standard Up, but they've recalibrated the dampers and the springs, and it's also 15 millimeters lower than the standard car. They've also upgraded the brakes. They put vented front discs in the front, and they're very well and responsive. They've got a nice bite in them, so you can really chuck it into corners, and it'll come out the other side. So the engine, so obviously with it being only a 1 litre turbo engine and 3 cylinders, you're probably thinking it hasn't got enough bite. But in the low revs, it's got 6 gears, they've all got short ratios between them all. So you really do have a lot of power going through the gears. Nice low end torque. Enough to get you out of trouble. Now the gearbox is lovely and smooth. You know, you can easily change gears onto the steering wheel. It's nice and responsive. You get good feedback from the road, but from a GTI model, you probably could expect a little bit better. Onto the seats now, they're just the standard seats you get from a normal Up, but it's got the GTI embroidered cloth or pattern. One downside, they're not as supportive as, say, a Golf GTI. So when you do chuck it around the corners, you do slide about a bit. Onto the stats. Now VW claim you can get to 60 in 8.5 seconds, which isn't bad, and top speed 122, which is really good for a 1 litre engine. So I don't know if you can hear it through my microphone, but VW, they've pumped artificial noise into the sound system. Now a lot of cars do these days, so it probably might not be any surprise to you, but you get a nice little grunt from the sound system. You know, from the outside, probably just sounds a little bit like a washing machine. But what can you expect? But to be fair, it's lovely to drive. It's really comfortable when you're just wafting around. It's nice and nimble. Steering's nice and light. And when you want to go for it, drop down a gear and it responds really well. And if you're a young driver looking to get your first step into the car market, if you're an enthusiast, this is the perfect car, 100%. I think I've pretty much covered everything that I'd like to say about this Up GTI, and it's a fabulous car. But I'm just going to stop now and I'll show you the outside of it. Alright, so I'm stood outside the rear of the VW Up GTI. Now the look of these things are quite controversial. You either love them or hate them. Me, I think they're quite cool and quite funky. You get one tailpipe from factory, which symbolises the GTI. You also get the glass boot, and you also get the spoiler. Now the engineers from VW have actually said this does supply downforce when at high speeds. So onto the front of the car, it's got a really short front end, it's really nice and stubby. GTI badge with the red line going throughout. And to be fair, the front, it's not so tame to look at, but it's nice and sporty. Okay, so onto the sides of the car. It's got a nice boxy look. It's 3 doors, so the doors are massive, really easy to get into the car. You've got the black stripe going down the side, and you've also got the GTI badge on the side. Okay, so boot space, let's have a look. Now, for the size of the car, it's a decent sized boot. Put it this way, we've managed to fit all the film equipment that we've used today, so we've used quite a bit. So fair enough, I'm quite happy with the boot space, that's good. So as I'm sat in the car, you get a lovely GTI side sill badge. You get a GTI steering wheel, and you also get a GTI gear knob. Now it's got a red GTI specific dash. The red carries on from the outside of the car into the inside, and the pedals are actually really good, lovely and grippy, so they're really hard to slip off. Right, so as I'm in the back, it's really comfortable. That's one good thing. Armrest is in a really good position. The headroom, loads of space. Now, unless the driver's 5 foot or below, you're gonna have some leg space. But anything more than that, you're gonna struggle. But other than that, decent. That's Josh. He only passed his driving test last week, and he's 17. Insurance for 1 year, £1,550 without a black box, and he gets a GTI badge. What's bad about that? Now, if you like today's video, be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.